Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your boy, Grumpy. Just kidding. I mean, you see it says Grumpy there, but this is Turgon the Wise. In case you didn't realize who I am. Coming at you with a new video today. What is this? What the hell is going on here? Well, today I am excited to bring to you a taste of the Mega Server. So this is a big server that was set up between 8 very good teams across the non-role play community. I'll just set everything up for you all as if I'll just assume no one knows anything about this server. So I'll go counterclockwise from left to right. So starting with the pink faction up here, this is the Angmar faction, which has the great teams of Toby and Step. Next, we have the teal faction of Arnor, which contains the great kingdom, the great teams such as Gods and Merc. Down here in the lower right-hand section of the map, we have the navy blue faction of Gondor, which has the great teams Panda and Bear. And then we have the uh, other blue uh, faction of Erebor, which has the great teams of Lame and Order. So those are your 8 fantastic teams on an insane server. And as you can see right here, the noose is tightening around the ring. So I will similarly start with this pin and go counterclockwise. So here we have fights between Merc God's Order Toby. It's a relatively tiny pin, 1.6 million. That's 4.4 million participants. It's probably a part of a pin that's broken off. Maybe this pin was combined with another pin, uh, and then it's split off for one reason or another. The pins update again in about an hour, so I will try to track this to see what happens. And let's just take a quick look see here. Yeah, I see it's basically this crossing. There's Orca, the I'm sorry, not Angmar, Arnor have that one, and they are moving into Amon Lank right here. The road just ends. Interesting. At this crossing. This, I believe, leads into the DG area. The next pin is a big boy, another 14-day pin, 33.8 million participants, 12.9 million deaths, Bear on top of the pin, next with Merc, Gods, Panda, and then a sprinkle of the other teams, Lame, Orca, Beer, Order, Weak, Noid. Let's take a look to see if we can see anything that's going on over here. That's where the pin currently is. So it looks like there's no visibility in this area for me, but I do see some activity over here, some flyers flying around. Arnor here, Arnor there. So it looks like there's some fighting happening over here between Gondor and Arnor. The next pin is also a big pin, but it's a 3-day pin. It's relatively new. And it's got 33.3 million participants, 12.3 million deaths. Currently, Lame is on top, followed by Panda, Bear, Order, Beer, or May. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Let's go check out what's going on here. Oh, we just have the pin is right on Vena's fort here. That is the illustrious leader of Panda. And it's just a sea of forts here. And a lot of back and forth in this area. So some good fights there. And then the final pin is another big one. 23.9 million participants, 8.7 million deaths, 22-hour pin with Order, Toby, Step, Lame, X Hub, Orme, And this is at the crossing between Lothlorien and SAV. You can see there's quite a bit of armies here. Now, for your viewing pleasure, let's check out some, you know, some reports. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them are going to be bad. Try to do a little mixture here. Just give you an idea of what some fights look like. I don't know either of these players, I'll be totally honest. Is that deep? Oh, wait a minute. That's DP. I know DP. What's going on, DP? It's got the old. Woo! Tanky Sauron and the Gandalf the White with Beorn. And Saruman. And then over here we've got Haru Baggins from Toby, rocking the Gil-galad, Gandalf the White, Sauron. So this is a triple support 1DD. And I would say DP just had the edge on this. He ended up with a little bit more troops at the end, and he started with a little less. So that's a good report for DP. See if I can find Sun Gohan versus Disco Yeti. Checking out these guys. Another one, we got GTW, Sauron, Saruman, Beorn. Ooh, fast boy. After the speed bonus, he has 55 speed. Saruman here. Nasty, nasty. A lot of focus. Yeah, he's going to pump out some damage. And then the Beorn. Command helmet. Yeah. Yeah. And the Z1 Sauron for setup for tanking. Another speed bonus here gets him up to 43. So he's a nice hybrid tank there that can also pump out some CC. And in case you're not familiar with this unit is the Ranger of the North. It is exclusive to the Rebuilding Glory campaign. You will not find this unit outside of this campaign. And it's a cool unit. It's an archer unit. It performs particularly well out on the open field, not so much on structures like a pass or a crossing or forts or keeps. And that's reflected here. When battling on non-structure land, damage dealt is 10% higher and damage received is 10% lower. And there's the other ability, Protector of the North, increases his defense by 4, and it protects one random allied formation. So it's not necessarily like a taunt unit, but it's being used as a tank unit in this context. And then Son Gohan over here from Step. Ooh, that's a fast and beefy Sauron. 53 speed after the speed bonus. That is nice. And then there's the Dane Perseverance and Might set. He's going to pump out some serious damage. And he did. And then we've got Gimli. I don't personally love Gimli, but some people really do. I mean, I love him in the movies and in the story, but in the game right now, he's not my favorite. 4-piece Might set, so that's going to do some nasty damage. But he doesn't have a command helmet. Command stat is low, speed stat is low. He's got the rocking the Eagles, which might get him to go a little bit quicker and survive a little bit longer, but it doesn't seem to have happened in this particular fight. And then the Gandalf the White here, some speed, a lot of focus, good stuff. Two really, really good players going at it here. Here's one that slightly goes towards Toby, I would say, between Legion and Silver Slash. Silver Slash uses the Legolas with the relic. and the 4-piece Fortitude set. So this is an interesting build and on an interesting commander. And this fight, he did some really nice damage. And you've got Dane with the Shire Protectors, Sauron with the Ravagers. So there's no taunt unit here, but the damage is relatively evenly distributed across this army, except for Dane, who tends to avoid the damage from uh, where is it? Isn't there some ability that makes it damage chance to increase damage if the ally includes other units to one other protect? So as long as they're alive, their other units are going to protect the Shire protectors from damage. So that's what makes them valuable. Helps keep it. It's great on DD, the damage dealing commanders, because it keeps them up and alive. So that is, you know, his Dane. And the Gandalf the White, 219 focus, 40 speed, rocking the 4-piece thick armor set for a 24 defense on the Cataphract. So you can take this 80 and add 24. That boosts it up to 104 defense in battle, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then over here we've got Sauron, high command, 147 defense on the Ravagers, not bad. So this is an interesting build. This is a really interesting army over here. And then you've got Legion from Toby. And you've got another 530 command. Solid. R6. Just missing, some gear on this helmet. But otherwise, I mean, solid. I mean, the Mountain Trolls are a taunt unit, so they're taunting for the first 3 rounds. 3 enemy formations, normal attacks will hit them. And then we've got some 1.0 gear here, folks. Oh, 1.0 gear, I'm sorry, classic gear. It makes me smile. So we've got unwavering 75% chance to gain stun immunity each round, plus 30 defense for dwarven units, and a plus 42 commander attack. So his attack stat is juiced. What he needs is a little bit more damage output, which would come from the Palantir. He needs a couple more Palantirs here to refine that, to get that up to its max. I think it's at level 4. No, maybe even 3 here. Yeah, I think it's at 3 right now. So a little bit of opportunity for this Dane to grow, but otherwise this is a nasty Dane. And let's check out this piece of classic gear. Plus 3 for dwarf HP and damage, commander attack, plus 30 on top of 42. Holy smokes, that's nasty. Plus 72 damage. That is ridiculous. Wonderful. I love this Dane. And then you've got the Gandalf the White with the 2-piece evasive action set. Lots of focus on him. A little bit on the slow side compared to most Gandalf the Whites you see these days, because you see a lot of people, as I've shown you already in this video, a lot of guys are putting 5-piece, 2-piece or 4-piece speed items on him to increase his speed by either 5 or 12. So 40 seems a little slow for Gandalf the White, but nonetheless solid. And then for the Beorn, yep, nasty. He's got command, he's got some speed. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And he's got the beasts. And he's got the Rams, so he's using, look at the defense on this Rams is 70, but then you add that 30 on there. I wonder if that's already been added here or not. I would like to believe it has been. Yes, it has been. There's the 30. So its base is 40. And then you look at the HP, you get the bonus from that, which I don't think makes a huge difference, but I like this. I really like this Dane. I'm a little jealous. I got a little bit of Dane envy here for the Legion man. All right, so I think that's enough looking at over here at the, oh boy. Oh, okay. I should actually, while I'm here, I should like play the game some. That'll probably be helpful, wouldn't it? Let's go. See what happens. Let's just look at this tile and see what we got going on here. So Vanna took it against this gentleman, and we got chariots, which are some of the nastiest units in the game. The chariot, it's a very, very thick unit, lots of HP, defense, attack. It's a nasty, and this is a nasty build. 233 focus. Get some focus from the bone armor. Bone armor is not something you see used too often, but I like it in this context. Get some unit defense and attack, which works good with the chariots. And the rest of the stuff is purely to amplify Saruman's damage. Got a command helm, Cowl of the Forest, best in slot in my opinion. Fine smoking pipe. Yep, he's jacked up. Then you've got Bayorn over here with the two-piece speed set, maxed out, refined, everything that should be. That's 180 command. His speed's 50 once he gets that set bonus. Shire Protectors, yeah, that's a nasty Bayorn right there. Gandalf the White, looking good. You can see 43 speed plus the 5, that's 48. 527 command, two-piece evasive action, so he's got survivability and speed. It's good stuff right there. And then the tanky Sauron, also with speed, 47 speed with the 5-piece set bonus for a tank. 146 damage is I'm sorry, 146 defense is a little bit on the low side for a tank. You would for a pure tank, you're looking for like 180, 200 plus defense. But I think this hybrid tank build on Sauron is still effective. I mean, these trolls are, as you can see in this fight, barely took any damage, and she just barreled over this poor gentleman here, who had, by his own right, has a solid Bayorn. It's got the command. It's got a lot of damage with the Shire ponies. Saruman, 263 focus, a little bit on the slow side at only 20 speed, 4-piece evasive action, so he should have some survivability. And then thick armor on Gandalf the White, 49 speed, so he doesn't need the speed bonus uh, against that slower one we looked at earlier, but against Vena's. And then you've got the full. So I think my only critique for the gentleman is that he has too much focus on Sauron, and he should go for more unit defense or speed. So I like the thick armor. I'm not a huge fan of Divide and Conquer set in general. I just don't think you get a lot of benefit out of it. But also just having the protection of Numenor, I would not use this piece of armor on Sauron. Uh, the slipper doesn't fit the foot. Um, he doesn't do a lot of damage, and focus just doesn't scale well with Sauron in general. So if you had a tankier Sauron that could have kept him up a little bit longer, and that could have kept some of the other guys up a little longer, and that could have made a big difference in that fight. I guess I should look to see how did I. Oh, it's time. Well, time to go. So let's see here. Oh, I actually had a pretty decent report here. So the formation that I'm rocking on this account is a Galadriel formation with Gandalf the White. So you've got some good madness there. She's got a nice relic. She's got a nice mix of high unit attack and defense command. The focus stat is low. She's not like we're not trying to really amp up her healing so much here. Let's look at how much healing she did. She still did 37,000 healing, which is not bad, right? And then you look at how much damage, over 40,000 damage. That's usually better than most tanks. Although in this case, the Sauron did more. And then we've got a nice little Bayorn here at R10. No command helmet, but he pumps out a lot of damage, and he's got some unit defense, which is nice. And you've got the Z6 Gandalf the White with all the things that you want on him. 46 speed plus the 5 from the speed agility set bonus gets him to 51. And then you've got the Dane with more speed that gets him up to 30. Some good damage. And the maxed out Relic. So I'll take that. That's not a bad fight for me. Let's just get him reloaded here. And are we alive? We are alive. Let's go. We'll just go right back in. Let's go. All right. So we we can keep looking at some more reports here while my army is en route. Oh, Golo completely slapped me here. Golo is a solid account in the Panda organization. Uh, Again, rocking the two-piece thick armor and two-piece uh, divide and conquer set. That's an interesting combination. 644 command. It's good. 209 defense. Those trolls be tanky. And then you've got Gandalf the White, 200 focus. Ideally, I think most people would like more focus than this, but I think in this, 200 is like the minimum. And he has 515 command and a ton of speed. 43 plus the 12 for the set bonus. That gets him up to 55 speed. So he's going pretty early in each battle. And then you've got Beorn with half trolls, which is an interesting choice. He's got the War Cry and Might. So this dude pumps out some serious damage, which reflects right here. And then Saruman, 239 focus, good speed. So this is a nice formation, dude. Very strong. Xanax versus Zaibatsu. Now Xanax is a pretty thick account from what I recollect. 256 focus on the Gandalf the White with a two-piece fortitude and two-piece thick armor set. So that makes these Rangers of the North pretty beefy. Saw the Beorn here with two-piece might, two-piece perseverance. And you've got Dane here. Low command. That's a little rough. Shire protectors. But yeah, everything else is looking pretty good here. And then the R5 Sauron. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe this guy isn't the guy I was thinking of as one of the thicker guys on lame. And then we've got Zaibatsu, who I am not familiar with at all. And this isn't even upgraded. And he's got a purple piece of gear here. No relic. So this is an interesting result for a tank. And then I think there's just too much damage here between basically three damage dealers. You got the army damage from the Snagas. See all this army damage? These are all best in slot army damage pieces of gear. This one's not max upgraded, but it's close enough. This one is. And then this isn't best in slot army attack, but you get the command, you get initiative, you get attack, you get defense. It's good. It's a solid build. Saruman, speed gets him to 30, plus the Lore of the Arcane for an additional 5% elemental damage. Yeah, and then we were looking at, oh, he's running Flay. That's interesting. Flay and Perseverance. Those are interesting choices. So this is an interesting fight here. Let's see what happened in terms of the CC. He's got 8. He has 7. Okay. So the CC didn't play any sort of a massive role from what I can see at a glance here. The heal probably helped out quite a bit. Yeah. And just a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Let's see. So that's an interesting fight right there. Let's see how I did. I died. Oh man. So at least I had some good fights before Venna destroyed me. She's gonna be hearing about this from me later, or she can just comment on the video after she sees it. That's fine either way. So Shaman is not I'm not familiar with any of the players really on the server at all, to be honest. So got a purple piece of gear here, but 93 defense on Mountain Trolls is quite low. So this player is probably, you know, not a whale. Although this Dane is looking pretty whaley to me. A little bit lower on the damage side, 39 to 54. You usually see him above 60, 65. And that's just due to the refinements. So, like I said, not a whale, but he's got the right pieces of gear and they're all max upgraded. So he's got good bones on this Stain. The Stain is a good work in progress. So yeah, here's 151 focus on Gandalf the White. He's got the command to be have some survivability, a lot of defense on these Ents, but the focus is what amplifies his White Council, and that is what keeps your whole team alive in the early rounds. And how many rounds did we go? Oh, we went actually pretty far. Huh, interesting. And then there was a little piece of 0 left here. Let's finish looking at Shaman. I just want to check out the Gimli. Yeah, good bones. You know, this is all the pieces, right pieces of gear. So this account is a nice work in progress. Give him 3 6 months. He's like, I would call him like a dolphin right now, or like a baby whale, somewhere in between. I don't know. What do you think? And then 0 here. That's pretty solid. 646, 149, and even a little bit of focus to boot. It's a nice Beorn, Saruman, and Gandalf the White. So what I like to do when I'm fighting is speed heal. I speed heal. I don't care. I need troops. Okay. So we're here. 0 seconds. I'll use what's in the fort, and then 2 minutes for this one, and then we'll send this guy because he's fast, right? Barry and Pippin have that bottom R0 skill that makes them a little faster. I want to stick about 2,400 of these guys and then 7,000. 23. Yeah, like that. We'll send those so we have backups. So yeah, this is what's going on the Mega server right now. Before I sign off, let's take a look at the leaderboard here. Personal affluence, who cares, right? It's towards the end of the season. Merit, holy smokes, Raven. You are a nightmare. 12.1 million merit. Phew. And then we got order at number 2 at 9.4 million. Isaac GH from Panda. Ricky Spanish from Gods. It's cool. So what I like about this leaderboard is you see a little bit of everything, you know? The only team that I see twice is Order. Toby, Order, Panda, Gods, Order, Lame. Order, Panda, Gods, Bear, Lame. Lame. Step. Bone Crusher. Big account. Myth Love. Former Yudes guy. I know you. Former iLil as well. I've known Myth Love since like S3. Hope you're doing well, bro. Jack Sparrow. I know that guy too. So we'll just walk through. First Merc name I see here is Prince Tim. There's Golo. We saw him earlier. Neo69 from Gods. My Duxon. Rivzog. And you can see if I just scroll down kind of to the bottom of this top 100 list, I have a feeling. Law. Nice to see you, bro. There's DP. This person doesn't have a team. That's silly. Get on a team, buddy. Can't be that bad. I'm just wondering if the top 100 all have over 4 million. And the answer is yes. And that is the sign of a great server to me. When there's a lot of fighting, a lot of merit, the bottom of the top 100 is at 4.1 million merit. That is phenomenal. I love it. I love it. Congratulations to everyone who is on this server, whether you loved it or hated it. I know, like I've said in one of my previous videos, I know it's been a pretty stressful server for everyone, but when you see numbers like this, you might feel like it's stressful in the moment, but a month from now, you'll miss it, especially if your next server is a boring server where you're doing like, you go back to that 2v1 crap or 2v2 or 4v2, something like that. Maybe you're the 2 and the others are 4. Maybe you decide you're going to go have a chill season in 4v2, some weak server, and then you sit around bored for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Those seasons are the worst, man. These seasons are the best. The toxicity almost makes it worth it to just, deal with that BS. Because you see big pins like this, and it lights your eyes up like a Christmas tree. And I know these pins have been bigger. Some of them will be, at times, they will get combined, and that will make them even more thick. There is some other fighting around the map that I'll just draw to everyone's attention. There's a little bit of fighting up here with these little teams. And then down here, looks like Rune is, I'm sorry, not Rune, Rohan is messing around a little bit. And these are tiny pins. They're not even really worth looking at so much, but that's it, my friends. That's going to do it for my coverage of the Megaserver today. I'm going to try to come back in a couple more days to give you an update. It's a very exciting server, and it is over in 6 days. The season cutoff is at 0000 UTC on the 10th of September. It's coming. It's actually 1 week from today, because today is Wednesday. So it's less than a week, actually. Reset yesterday was the point, where it was the 1 week mark. So we're coming down to the end, and I want to keep giving you little tastes of what's happening on the server, give you some updates, show you what's going on, let you know what happens, share battle reports. There is, as you could see from the top 100 merit, a ton of phenomenal players and phenomenal teams on the server. So it's my pleasure to bring you some insight into that. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and I will talk to you soon. Turgon the Wise signing off. Cheers.